This is right now my first high-speed pull.
Hey everyone, today we're going to take a look at this 55-mile-per-hour electric scooter. This is the Maxfun 10 Max scooter. I had to bring out the appropriate gear to make me feel safe, but I want to say there's also a bunch of other features that Maxfun added that makes going fast, especially fast for a scooter, feel a lot more stable, which in turn makes it more fun, in my opinion. So we're going to go through all those features that has to do with the steering dampener, the suspension, the braking system. Let's go for a ride and let's get into it. By far, this is the fastest scooter I've ridden in a long time, and while I'm usually a little bit sketched out to use this much power and speed in a scooter, the 10 Max feels surprisingly smooth. Once I found an open stretch, I gave it the beans and was surprised that I had reached top speed fairly quickly. Before heading out, I did put on the steering dampener, which for some might not be as necessary depending on your comfort level, but I for one love the extra safety and I'm sure glad it does have the option to add one. It's also fully adjustable in case you need to do more quick maneuvering and don't want it too stiff. Another thing I was pretty surprised with was the fully adjustable front and rear suspension, but before we get into that, let's get into some of these high performance specs. The Maxfun 10 Max scooter is a whopping 55-mile-per-hour scooter with 70 plus miles of range, powered by a removable 72 volt 35 amp hour lithium ion Samsung battery. It also has dual 1800 watt hub motors on the wheels that can provide a peak power output of 5600 watts and is powered by two 40 amp sine wave controllers. Like any other performance vehicle, speed isn't everything. You also need good handling, which is where suspension and braking comes into play. Starting with the suspension, the 10 Max comes with a hydraulic Exaform 291R adjustable suspension system, which helps a lot when you run into those gnarly surprise potholes at speed. I rode through a few different types of terrain, one being fairly well paved, one being paved with lots of bumps and loose dirt on top, and the final one being a brief ride through dirt trails. For mixed terrain, I was going at a decently quick pace, so I couldn't always prepare for those surprise bumps, but I have to say with the suspension, I never felt anything to the point where I had to worry about losing traction. For the more off-road terrain, it also held its own and got me through some bumps and pretty steep routes that surprised me quite a bit. For the trail with lots of curves and hills, I needed something that was going to handle well and brake quickly and reliably, and unlike some other scooters I've ridden, the 10 Max felt like it had a really good weight for the speed, and combined with a top-notch Magura MT5E hydraulic disc brake system with a 4-piston caliper design, I had a great sense of control throughout this section. This beast might not be the lightest scooter, but I have to say that kind of weight does help when braking. For tires, the PMT 10 by 3.5 inch tubeless tires had great grip, which is pretty important when you want to get as much acceleration as possible, especially if it's a little damp or wet outside. If you're using dual motors on mode 3, it's great to have good tires with a lot of grip, but with it being a lot of power, I found it best to tone it down to more manageable mode 1 or 2 with only one motor compared to dual motors to make acceleration a little bit easier. Honestly, with a scooter so powerful, I'm glad that it's easy to switch between modes. It makes going near pedestrians or crowded areas a lot more manageable, and when I took it to the grass, it handled so much better at a lower mode. Powering the scooter is a 2,520 watt-hour large capacity battery that comes with a battery management system and only takes 7 hours to fully charge. It's also fully removable, and on top of that, the cover is lockable. If you're planning on riding at night, be sure to flip on those LED headlights, especially for smaller yet fast vehicles like scooters. It's always good to have a solid headlight and brake light. Maxfun also added turn signals and horn buttons, so if you're going to be riding around in traffic, it's always good to use those. Currently, MSRP of the Maxfun 10 Max is $3,699, but they do have some pretty special limited quantity offers, which will be down in the description below. If you made it to the end, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.